Fame and consequences. In New York, Charlie Sheen, the actor and bad boy for many years, was arrested, taken into custody at the Plaza Hotel here in New York after police responded to a disturbance in his room. Sheen has had many problems over the years, and yet again he is in trouble. But this time the question is, what will be the consequences? Andrea Canning has our report.
It's happened again. Charlie Sheen living up to his bad boy image. Police sources say they discovered the actor drunk and half naked in his New York City hotel room early this morning.
Police responded. Mr. Sheen was taken to the hospital, New York Presbyterian Hospital. No arrests were made. No one willing to sign a complaint.
According to police officials, Sheen had been drinking heavily and was reportedly screaming that he couldn't find his wallet or phone.
He had a whole situation in that hotel room in the Plaza. They found him apparently naked and intoxicated.
Sheen allegedly trashed the posh Eloise suite at the renowned Plaza Hotel, overturning tables and chairs.
Here in Hollywood, this is Oscar weekend, but all anybody can talk about is Charlie Sheen and his epic meltdown. And it's not over yet. Today, the troubled star called in to Pat O'Brien's radio show and made a bad situation about 100 times worse. Let's listen.
These guys are a couple of AA Nazis and really just blatant hypocrites in that whole regard.
You talking about Chuck Lorre?
Chuck and Lee, these guys, if they do not practice what they preach, it's so transparent. It's so sad. I watch him just wailing on people that have been loyal to him for 2 decades, and then he gets in the men's group on Friday and talks about surrender and acceptance is the key. Really, Chuck? Accept these keys.
Yesterday, Charlie Sheen wrote this letter about his show's creator, Chuck Lorre. It was posted on TMZ, and here's just a part of it. He writes, "I fire back once, and this contaminated little maggot can't handle my power and can't handle the truth. I wish him nothing but pain in his silly travels, especially if they wind up in my octagon." Well, addiction expert Dr. Drew Pinsky is here. He has a new show launching April 4th on HLN. Dr. Drew, what's going on with Charlie Sheen, do you think? What do you see here from a medical perspective?
Well, what we see from a medical perspective presently is, let's just sort of describe and list what we're looking at here. Did you hear in that radio broadcast pressured speech? We have evidence of derailed thought processes. He talks about Thomas Jefferson and jumps from topic to topic. He's irritable, aggressive, grandiose gestures. That is classic hypomania. That's how we define mania. So he's clearly in an acute, psychiatrically unstable state. That's just the fact. I mean, there's simply no denying it. Look at the data there. The question is that really the underlying disorder, or is this addiction causing hypomania? At this point, it really doesn't matter, because hypomanics kill themselves, hurt other people, become gravely disabled, and he's just inches off.
Are you worried about Charlie Sheen?
Oh my goodness, he is inches off needing a 72-hour hold, a 5150, where people are held against their will, because these states that clearly he's in go to a very bad place. I know, people toss around whether or not we should be approving or disapproving of his behavior. That's not the issue. I hope he lives his life as he pleases. The problem, he's gotten himself, his brain, into an abnormal state.
A.J. Hammer live in New York City.
And I'm Brooke Anderson live in Hollywood. AJ, it's been incredible. Pretty hard to believe, actually, the response we got today to the incredible story Showbiz Tonight broke last night. Actor Charlie Sheen's startling claims that the government may be covering up what really happened on September 11th.
So many emails coming in. We've been really overwhelmed today. Between the emails, the blogs, the websites, everybody is writing and talking about it. Charlie Sheen made the comments during a hard-to-believe interview on a radio show. And don't move, because in just a moment, the host of the radio show, the guy who actually spoke with Sheen, is going to join me live here on Showbiz Tonight. But first, let's get you up to speed on the latest developments.
The more you look at stuff, especially specific incidents, specific events in or around the fateful day, it just raises a lot of questions.
The questions Charlie Sheen is raising about the 9/11 attacks are raising a lot of eyebrows. Our email inbox immediately started to overflow, and the coverage on Showbiz Tonight is getting a lot of attention. The website 9/11 Blogger calls Showbiz Tonight's coverage, quote, the first time a major news station has covered 9/11 questions in any reasonable format. It all started with a radio interview Sheen gave to GCN radio network host Alex Jones, a cult hero of sorts to 9/11 conspiracy theorists. Well, during the interview, Sheen made clear that he backs Jones' views.
We're not the conspiracy theorists on this particular issue. It seems to me like, 19 amateurs with box cutters taking over 4 commercial airliners and hitting 75% of their targets. That feels like a conspiracy theory.
Sheen also made another shocking suggestion that we may not know the full story about the collapse of the World Trade Center.
I have a hard time believing that a fireball traveled down the elevator over 1,100 feet and still had the explosive energy to destroy the lobby like it was described. I said, hey, call me insane, but did it sort of look like those buildings came down in a controlled demolition?
When I was your age, I could only dream about my parents splitting up.
As the star of the hit sitcom 2.5 Men, Sheen is seen weekly by about 10 million people, and many of them may end up paying attention to his controversial comments on 9/11. Welcome back to Showbiz Tonight. I'm A.J. Hammer in New York. This is TV's only live entertainment news show. We have been getting an overwhelming response to our Showbiz Tonight question of the day. We've been asking, Charlie Sheen speaks out. Do you agree there is a government cover-up of 9/11? Here's the vote so far. 67% of you say yes. 33% of you say no. Some of the emails we've received includes one from Jennifer in North Dakota. She writes, Charlie Sheen has no evidence, and it is a shame that celebs get their voice and opinions heard because of their status. We also heard from Danny, who lives in Kentucky. Danny says, God bless Charlie Sheen for standing up and speaking his mind on what is the most devastating event to hit our nation, 9/11. We also heard from Chris in Ohio. Chris writes, this is a very important issue that must be brought into the mainstream. It is our patriotic duty to make sure we find out why and how 9/11 happened.